Let's move on now with email number 3. And email number 3 comes to us from Jonathan Sanchez, who writes, "Hey, John, quick question. Why do you think Marvel and Netflix canceled Iron Fist? With better reviews from critics and audiences, I thought this show would last a bit longer. Thanks, John." All right, thanks a lot for the question, man. And for those of you who may not have heard, and I'm sure most of you have by now, Iron Fist, the Defender of Kunlun, has been canceled. There will be no Iron Fist Season 3. The report officially comes to us in a statement from Marvel and Netflix jointly, who put out the following statement. Marvel's Iron Fist will not return for a third season on Netflix. Everyone at Marvel Television and Netflix is proud of the series and grateful for all the hard work from our incredible cast, crew, and showrunners. We're thankful to the fans who have watched these 2 seasons and for the partnership we've shared on this series. While the series on Netflix has ended, the immortal Iron Fist will live on. So that was the official statement that came out, no more Iron Fist. Now, you guys know what I think about Iron Fist. Season 1 was nothing short of an unmitigated car crash. That was horrible. Other than the Inhumans, it is the worst thing Marvel in any incarnation on the big screen or small screen has ever done. It was awful. Season 2 was definitely an improvement, but to me, still not very good. It wasn't bad. Season 2 was not bad. It certainly wasn't the car crash that the first season was. Right? It was an improvement. But that's as far as I'll go with it. It was an improvement. The best thing about Iron Fist Season 2 was actually the relationship between the Meacham siblings, right? Those two, that was the most, I was always glued to my TV when they were going deeper into that relationship between the brother and sister. That to me was awesome. And they made some improvements with Danny, and they made some improvements along the way, but there were still a lot of weaknesses to the series. I didn't think it was all that great, but not bad, which again was way better than what we said about Season 1. So I'm not surprised that this thing got canceled. So why did it get canceled? I want to propose to you there are 3 possible reasons why this thing got canceled. And let's take a look at this. Number 1, Marvel wants to take it to the new streaming service. That is a possibility. Now, before you reject that notion, let's look more carefully at that statement that Marvel and Netflix put out. Notice that they didn't say Marvel's Iron Fist will not return for a third season, period. What did they say? They said Marvel's Iron Fist will not return for a third season on Netflix. They didn't say Marvel's Iron Fist will not return for a third season, period. They said Marvel's Iron Fist will not return for a third season on Netflix. And let's go down to the last line of that statement. It doesn't say while the series has ended. It says while the series on Netflix has ended, the immortal Iron Fist will live on. That doesn't definitively mean anything. But if you wanted to look for some reason to believe that this series will continue on just on the Marvel streaming service instead of on Netflix, the fact that they didn't just say the series is not being renewed for a new season, period, they said it's not returning to Netflix. And while the series will not return on Netflix, the immortal Iron Fist will live on. I believe there is some cause for optimism if you're hoping that Netflix goes over to the streaming service. There's some reason there to hope for that. Personally, I do not think that. I don't think they're bringing Iron Fist over to the Marvel streaming service, but there is some reason there to be hopeful if that's what you're looking for. Well, what's the second possible reason they canceled it? Well, not enough people watch Season 2. Netflix notoriously does not really release their view numbers. They don't let people know how many people watch their show most of the time. But I've got to believe the view numbers for Iron Fist were pretty low. For a couple of reasons. One, I remember the day the season dropped, that Season 2 dropped. And everybody was like, oh, wait, really? It dropped today? Like, with Daredevil Season 3, everybody knows when that's dropping. And we're all counting down the hours to when that's coming, right? Iron Fist Season 2 dropped, and it was like, oh, but Iron Fist Season 2 came out? Oh, okay. I suppose. All right. But I think so many people hated that first season. And I personally know a number of my friends who just never watched Iron Fist Season 2. because Iron Fist season 1 was so bad. My wife is one of them. My wife couldn't get all the way through Iron Fist season 1, and then when season 2 came out, I was like, honey, it's Iron Fist season 2, want to watch it with me? No. Oh, okay. I mean, and I think probably my wife and my friends are not alone. I bet there's a lot of people out there that had no interest in trying season 2. Despite the fairly good cameo he made in Luke Cage season 2, but that didn't apparently go very well over. So again, we don't know what the viewer numbers are, but I think there would be a really good argument to be made that the viewer numbers were probably not all that good, and therefore they don't see a point in doing season 3. And yes, the reviews improved for Iron Fist season 2, but they still weren't great. And I don't think this season was going to get a lot of new people to jump on board for season 3. Well, what's a third possibility? A third possibility is that they want to fold Iron Fist into Luke Cage and create the virtual version of Heroes for Hire on Luke Cage. That is something a lot of people have been talking about. Now, people have been looking for that Luke Cage Iron Fist team up for a while, and then of course they had Danny pop up on Luke Cage season 2, and it was a really good episode. It was a positive episode that I liked. I thought the dynamic between the two of them was pretty damn good. So could they just go, you know what, we'll get better use out of this character if we scrap his solo show and either just bring him into Luke Cage, or we dissolve Luke Cage and just make it Heroes for Hire? One of the two. Again, I have nothing to back that up with. I'm just like you. I'm speculating on, but that's possible. So out of these three possibilities, what are the chances? What's most likely the true reason why Iron Fist got canceled? Honestly, I think it's a combination of number 2 and number 3. I think the reality is not a lot of people watch season 2 because, if they had massively high viewership numbers, they'd keep doing it. But I think it's a combination of 2, that not a lot of people watch it, and 3, that they want to fold it into Luke Cage. So my guess at this point, and granted it's just a guess, is that that's what's going to happen. But again, in that statement, there is some grammatical anomalies in that statement they put out that might suggest that Luke Cage is going to have a new season. It's just not going to be on Netflix. So you've got reason to believe that they're just pulling it from Netflix to put it on Marvel's streaming service or Disney streaming service. That's fine. I personally think it's a combination of reason 2 and reason 3. What do you guys think? What do you think ultimately led to the Netflix part of it, at any rate, pulling the plug on Iron Fist? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. All right, let's move on now to the final emailed in topic today.